Ladies and gentlemen, it's episode 39 of the Reseller Leftovers, the self-diagnosed number one reselling podcast in the world. And it's only me and Joe today. Did we fire Dan? Did we fire him?
Nah, it looks like Dan had some bad weather. I think so.
Yeah, he had some really. If you guys didn't know, it's Tuesday midday. Last night, like some really bad weather went through the Chicago and that area. So he's got power outages. And he tried, but he's not able to make it today. So no, we didn't fire him. Without actually probably be like a fatal mistake if we fired Dan, right? Like, who's gonna come and watch the pocket change? Look, I found the stickers. Who's gonna come and watch pocket change? Well, let me cover up Dan's face.
The old G pocket change.
Yeah, so Dan's not with us today. Sorry, no amusing cat thievery stories. No fun stories about flipping off grandmas and stuff. So, oh wait, no, that was Joe that flipped off the grandma.
No, it was the guy that had the Jesus fish on the back of the.
Jesus fish, that's right.
And I have had bad luck ever since.
Still having bad luck
years later. After one middle, who knew one middle finger can screw you up for years?
I mean. Just one middle finger. That's like breaking 100 mirrors all in one shot, right there.
Pretty much, yeah. Of all cars, I knew it was coming because that car pulled right in front of me, and then after I gave the finger, the Jesus fish was right on the back. That was the first thing I zoomed in on. I'm like, oh man.
So then, what is Dan? Dan, he got mad at a little old lady for something. I don't remember. Maybe the viewers can remind us in the comments because. Someone commented last week about him being mad at older people. Or no, wait, we were talking about the, so we're all going to be hanging out together coming up soon. We're going to be hanging out at the 127 highway. The Reseller Leftovers crew is going to be hanging out. And we were talking about how we're just there to see Dan get mad at an old lady and flip her off.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I mean, Jimmy, I met you in person a couple times, and never met Dan in person.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna talk him into going at least a couple yard sales with me. I gotta get him to go to some yard sales with me. I know he's not Dan. If you're listening, I know you're not the biggest fan of yard sales. You like them, but not the biggest fan.
Right.
But I gotta get you to go to a couple with me. If not, then you can go with Joe, and
I'm sure we'll get him out there in the battlefield.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's gonna be a different area for me for the 127. Going a little bit further south than I've been to Tennessee and I've been in Ohio. Now I'm gonna go in between. We're gonna be in between that area, somewhere mystery location in between there. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be probably a little more country.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with the highway sales. I've only been to one, and that was the one in Virginia. Which one was that called? The one?
Oh, the 100 mile.
The 100 mile. Yeah.
This will probably be similar to that.
Yeah.
Probably maybe a little not as I don't know. Everywhere I've been so far to the 127 highway, especially down in Crossville, Tennessee, was very commercial. Very it was like vendors and
like commercial. You're meaning like people that set up for this, like that know what they have and like that.
I guess vendory is a word. Yeah. Like what in all fairness, I think like the word is it's not really for pickers as much as it really is for someone that wants to go and buy an antique that they've been looking for and they're willing to pay up for that, or they're looking to buy a collectible or decorations for their house or whatever, and they want to spend, or they're fine with spending a little bit more on something that they've been looking for or they actually really, really want. They're not necessarily looking to flip it. That's the best way to describe Crossville. It's full of stuff that people that are shoppers, not reseller shoppers, just regular shoppers looking for stuff that they want for their collection or their decor or clothing. And so the prices are higher, and there's good stuff, but the prices are quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
So
I think
this is a little less like that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think at the 100, I mean, I didn't buy a ton of stuff, but I feel like I bought like quality stuff. That
Yeah.
was, I paid a little bit more money than I normally would have at a regular yard sale or local yard sale or whatever. But pretty much all the items I bought were quality items. Like I bought some Zippos.
I felt like they were really willing to negotiate out at 100 Mile. Like a lot of people were willing to do deals.
Yeah. I bought a couple like lots of pocket knives, 3 or 4 at a time, and I got a better deal, with buying them. What
And
else
you
did I
found
buy?
some good ones, right? Like so
Yeah.
that's you taught me a little bit like to look for. I mean, I've known to look for buck.
Yeah, I bought some buck knives, case knives,
Yeah.
But there was this. I thought there was more of that there. I don't usually see a lot of that at home. I guess it was just because of the area that we were at.
Right.
So
I feel like 100 Mile was a mix. It was almost an even mix of higher price. There was definitely higher price stuff there. There was stuff that people knew what they had and they priced it high. But then there was some lower price stuff, and then there was the middle of the road stuff like you talked about where there was definitely a lot of meat on the bone. So you made a deal, but you might have spent $30 or $40 where you're used to spending $5 or $6 for $3.94.
Yeah, there was still money to be made, and I made the trip. I think we talked about this before. Is just trying to make enough money back
to pay for the trip.
That you took, and
I mean it's a little it's not gonna be too bad. I think it'll be easy for me. I mean, I got a 3-hour drive, and then paying for the place to stay. It shouldn't be too hard for me to find about that much worth of stuff.
Yeah.
I should be able to exceed that pretty well.
I have a little bit further drive, but I should be all right. I mean, I'm not worried about it, even if it's not,
I think it's going to be good. I've heard good things. I think it's going to be good. But we don't know. Like again, I went in Ohio to a town called Van Wert, and that was more like the 100 Mile. A little bit of both. A little bit of high price vendors, and a little bit of really good price stuff. So. I don't know I don't know exactly. I have to look at my calendar. I don't exactly even know where I'm going. It's gonna be my first time in that area, but I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun, and I know it's gonna be fun. Hanging out with Joe and Dan. Tell us in the comments how fun does that sound? Hanging out. Don't put me in the equation because I already know that wouldn't be exactly an exciting time. But hanging out with Joe and Dan, come on.
I'm excited. So it should be fun. It's coming up in a couple weeks, right? So,
oh man, is it? Yeah, because I'm
it's
next week. I'm heading to the big card show in Cleveland next week.
Yeah, I went to the card show was it last year? It was last year. It was in Atlantic City. I think it was either last year or the year before. Whenever one was in Atlantic City, it was the first time going. The amount of stuff
what should I expect? Like I've never been to a big like this is the national card show.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, except that it sounds like it's important. What should I expect at a huge like the big card show? Like, are there going to be athletes there and stuff? Are there going to be?
I don't know. I mean, there could be. There's tons of athletes now that are in the card, collecting.
Right.
But it was just the amount of memorabilia and cards that you see is unbelievable.
Wow.
All at one place. You know what I mean? It was such a.
I'm gonna buy a card just as like because I'm not big into cards. I'm going more to learn, hang out with some of the like Carrie from American Arbitrage is gonna be up there and Tim over the years. So I'm gonna hang out with them and learn and kind of get. I don't think I want to learn cards, but I want to get an idea of the behind the scenes of how they do what they do.
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily big into cards either, but I'm in the cards just collecting like either players that I like or teams that I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't usually do it for resale, but you
I
do come across some bargains. Pick them up if you for your favorite player.
Find me a Bo Nix. I need to find a Bo Nix rookie since he's the quarterback for the Broncos now. My goal is to find a decent, and I might need help, but I'm going to try to find a decent Bo Nix rookie card.
I'm sure you'll find it there. You'll find everything there.
You'll find everything.
Yep.
There's it's not just sports cards too, right? From what I understand, there's going to be other kinds of card, but that's getting big too. Other types of cards, not just sports. Like
it was
like anime based cards and yeah,
non-sport stuff.
but
that should be a fun time hanging out with them.
Oh yeah, it should. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a blast. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, it's gonna be a long. So it's me and Tim. Tim's been talking about this on Reseller Information Network. Tim, over the years, he's been talking a lot about how, like, me and Tim are literally gonna be spending like over 2 weeks around each other, like the whole time, like. Because I'm going up to Cleveland, and that's Wednesday to Sunday, and then the next week is the 127, and he's going to be there, and that's another like Tuesday to Sunday. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild and crazy, and then wild and crazy 2 weeks, and then the weekend after the 127, the big highway sale that comes through my city is going on. So I got another highway sale right after that.
So back-to-back highway, you're going to card show and then back-to-back highway sales. Not bad.
The good thing is the one that the one I can be on that highway in 5 minutes. So that one I won't have to travel or find a place to stay and all that stuff. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be tired though.
Yeah,
exhausted.
I have my dues of travel, and I'm away again for a couple days for work. But then I'll be home. So
I think it's interesting that you bring your painting from home with you and hang it up on the wall behind you.
I do. I travel with that.
You travel. What did you paint that yourself? Is that
Yeah. Before I got into reselling, I was
Art Deco or
I was a painter. So, but yeah, it was. We got a lot of things coming up. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's this time of year. It's just busy, but then it feels like it all after that. It's just all kind of dies out, really quick for me. Especially, this second year in Ohio last year, after those highway sales, it really died down, picking and everything wise. Probably for the best, especially spending.
Yeah, spending. Yeah,
spending.
Do you have enough to hold you over before you have to go back to the bins and?
Oh, I have a lot. Yeah, I still haven't even listed that record collection. I bought a Lego collection I still have to list, and I got those Star Wars collection I still have to list. So I have some decent collection
stuff too.
What's that?
Not like I said, I got good stuff too. It's not like a normal death pile that you.
Yeah, so I'll still go to the bins just when I'm bored because I don't want to just list. I like picking, so while the bins aren't my favorite, I'll have the itch to get out, so I'll be going. And then I hope this summer or this winter, or maybe even like early November, I hope to maybe head south and, because when I lived in Colorado, I would go to Arizona to pick in November. Just like visit my family.
Right.
But then I would do a picking trip while I was there. I'd make it a picking / visiting trip to Arizona, 11-hour drive. So if I head 11 hours south from here, I'm close to Florida, into Georgia. So I'm hoping I can do the same thing and, do some picking south of here during their, that's kind of prime picking time when you start getting into November down there. So hopefully I can do that if I'm running low on inventory, and it all works out. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're full time, those are things you can do. Like when you're full time and picking is a little bit slow around where you're at. If you can come up with the funds to make it happen, you can take a road trip and do some picking.
Yeah, I'm always game for a road trip. I sometimes don't have the time to do it, but
right,
but wherever I go, there was one or two things that usually whenever we planned a trip, it was always to go to it was usually like minor league baseball team, wherever we went. Like if we went to Myrtle Beach, if we went to, wherever, try to hit a sports game and then try to do it on the games that they did a giveaway. That was like my
like a bobblehead,
like a bobblehead giveaway or jersey giveaway, or
you could be like Dan and you could go for the night where you can bring your dog into the park. That's why he makes. That's a good reason to make a road trip, so you can take your dog to the baseball game.
Yeah, the last road trip we did, I just was a couple weeks ago. I went to Atlanta to watch the Phillies play the Braves, but it was a little bit of a different trip. There was no giveaway at the game, but we went and we didn't have a car. We just Ubered it from the, you
Oh,
know, so I felt like I was trapped. I couldn't go thrifting, couldn't check anything out, And we were
yeah,
there on the weekends. There wasn't many sales in the area, even yard sales like on a Saturday or whatever. But there
right.
wasn't
And
much.
so, yeah, I need an Uber to take me to yards.
Yeah. So
Imagine that Uber ride. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna go from yard sale to yard sale. That- I don't think I don't think you'd make enough money to pay for that Uber
No,
while
not that.
at the yard sales,
No.
especially if it's surging. Is that what they call it on
Yeah,
Uber? When the
and of
prices
course,
surge?
I traveled on 4th of July. We got
Oh
into
yeah,
Atlanta late on 4th of July. Like, I think we were supposed to get there like around 8 o'clock. We didn't get there until after 9:40 something. We landed, and
so you
the
saw the fireworks show from your plane then?
yeah, your $25 Uber ride from
Oh
there to
my
the
god!
hotel ended up being like $75 because of
What?
the surge and
I would
the
have
time
walked.
of the
I would
holiday.
have been. You would have seen me walking around Atlanta with my luggage on my back,
So,
sweating like crazy.
but that was a fun trip, but it wasn't one of those ones that worked out where you got the bobblehead and was able to go,
Yeah,
picking
that
or thrifting.
bobblehead can help pay for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and you said they won, right?
They won. That was my
The
first
Phillies won.
win in six
Now
away games.
you're their good luck charm. You got to go to every away game now.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
and
that's gonna be expensive for you, Joe.
my wife and daughter went on Sunday to the Phillies game, and they lost like 18-4
Oh boy,
or something. So
18-4.
yeah, it was the
Holy
backup pitcher ended up our backup catcher ended up pitching. So
what?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
never good when a fielder starts pitching in the game. All right, so Joe, you told me a little bit about you did an experiment with your eBay promotions.
I did. I was
Was
looking
it all
for it's it's probably not the wisest thing to do, but I was looking for a reason not to promote anymore. So, and I usually
So
do it
what's
all
your
on my phone
reason?
and
What
promote
was
my
your
listings on my phone, everything like that. But they
yeah?
changed something within the last week or two of how to
What?
promote and all that. So I never sat down and figured it out or put the time in to figure it out. So I just was like, I'm just gonna for the next week, I'm just gonna let it ride. Zero promotions, nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't
How'd
work out.
that work for you?
It didn't work out too good.
No, not too
I think I sold 5 things in a week.
less in 7 days or 5 days. One a day or less.
Yeah, one less.
Less. So
Yeah, I think it went actually a few days without selling anything, and then like a day I would sell 2 things. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I need to look at but like if I have the automated one, it didn't mess with that, right? Like if I have the automated promoter, am I still promoting?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I usually, but I do the
No,
thing
I
that
am because my
you know,
my last sale said sold via promoted. All right.
yeah. Me and Dan, well, Dan sometimes talks about it too. It's kind of like the same thing that he does is every few days, end it and then start a new campaign and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I ended up ending it.
and
And
not starting a
when I
new
went
one.
to start a new campaign, it was all different.
I
So
need to look at that then.
yeah, I ended up not doing it because I couldn't really figure it out. I was going to watch a video on how to do it, but
I did notice so I have Android, and I did notice on the eBay app, you can now when you send out offers, you also have the option to add an item to an existing promotion. So on my app, like I was never able to do that on my phone before. But now when I go into my listings
Mhm.
and I go to active, if I go to selling and if I go to active listings and it says actions, and if I push actions, it says send offer or add to / create sale event. Oh, that's not promotion. That's adding it to like a 10% off. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad. Not promotion. I said that wrong. So I can take an active listing and add it to my 10% off sale.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I can do. All right, my bad. I said that wrong. So But that's still, to me, that's kind of cool because I usually run a 10% off and a 15% off sale, so I can take that listing instead of sending an offer, I can just add it to a sale that I already have going. All right, I said that wrong. I apologize, listeners and viewers, that I said that wrong. So it's not promotions; it's a sale. So yeah, I think you have to have a store to have a sale. Also, you have to have a store to promote.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I just wanted a reason not to promote, and I think that's all they had to do is just show me.
All it was. It's a minor change by eBay was all it took.
That's all it took.
So are you promoting again now?
I'm back on promoting.
You're back on that wagon.
Yeah, I'm back on the wagon. I can't afford not to promote.
Right? So. Yeah, me either. I know. I did. One of the big changes I made on my promoting though is I stopped promoting. I set the dollar limit where if it's worth over a certain amount of dollars, it doesn't get promoted. So I set that ceiling pretty low. So like if it's worth more than, if it's listed for over, like I think it's 100 something that I did, anything over 100 something dollars does not get promoted anymore. Only my below that. So that, because as you go higher in dollar, the percentage means more money out of your pocket, right? So like for instance, I just sold some cameras and stuff for over $100, and none of those sold on promoted listings because of that. Because I added that, they didn't get promoted, and they still sold really well. So that's like, that really kind of opened my eyes. Like I've always just kind of been like, well, just promote everything, just promote it because I'm late. It's laziness on anything. But that opened my eye to like stuff like, and I know people have said it's nothing new. I know there's people out there that have always done this, and in the comments, I know you're gonna let me know you're one of them. I appreciate that. There's always been people that didn't promote stuff that they knew will sell well with that anyways. Like that category or that item just sells well, so it doesn't need to be promoted. And that kind of opened my up to that a little bit. That I should do more of that stuff. It's just laziness. I have no other excuse. Because when I do the automated promoting, it automatically promotes it. And so I can't go in there and turn off when I'm listing on my phone. I can't say don't promote it. It goes into, because I set it up automatically. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I need to go. I need to make an adjustment to that. I
do that sometimes too. I'll take off like if I know I have something. It's usually like with video games. I try not to, I can go through and scroll through the categories or whatever, and I just click off that, and if they're listed in that category, they don't promote that specific category. Kind of so I try to do it like video games because I think they'll always sell. Sometimes I do it with sneakers, especially if I only have like that one size, if it's a used pair of sneakers or whatever, and then it's a size 12 or whatever, I literally, things like that. That's just an idea to do it with the higher priced items. Is just turn it off on the higher priced items, because usually, I don't know, if you have a higher priced item, I feel like it's either usually a special item that maybe there's not many of them out there,
Right, there's a reason it's got a higher price, and it probably has a better sell through rate if it's that high of a price too.
Right.
Yeah. So that's huge for me. I said it was on one of those. I sold a bunch of those digital cameras. By the way, shout out to, is it Brandon at 540 Flips? He in the comments, he let us know that he has, like, did he say his 18-year-old daughter, I believe he said, or something like that, that she has a digital camera that she uses, and she has like something to convert it, and that she just likes, almost like listening to an old record. She likes the way the old picture look, and she can take the picture with that digital camera, and with the wire that she has, where she can put it to her social media and share pictures that look like they're from the 90s and stuff. To me, it's just an old guy moment for me where I don't understand how to do any of that. It's like setting the VCR when my dad used to ask me to set the VCR clock. That's that for me now. Like, I have no idea how they do all that, but I'm glad that the cameras sell.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but it just go back to, like we talked about last week. I can't remember a time that I actually saw somebody using that camera out traveling or wherever. Everybody just pulls the cell phone out and
I mean, I can. 1994.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I'm just playing.
We're in 2024, Jim.
Ah,
So,
oh, shoot.
but yeah.
So
that's
you're not your kids aren't using the digital cameras, Joe? They're
no,
not? Your boys
nope,
aren't out? No, they're
no.
not. They're not into that.
They're so into the cell phones. They do
Yeah.
everything on it. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Me too. I mean, I guess. I mean, I didn't do a lot with digital cameras, anyways. I think we have one. I need to look. We might have one. We might still have our old like little Kodak digital camera that we had. I have to ask Sonia.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't think I don't remember ever owning one when I was younger. Anything else like that? I think I've always had from the time I had kids. So Joey was born in 2007, and I mean I had a cell phone then. I don't probably 2007. I don't know what cell phone I had, but it was probably
like a Nokia for
yeah,
sure, right? Like that
yeah.
little.
But did you take?
Nokia
Could you take pictures on it in
I don't
07?
think so.
No. So I don't know. Maybe I did. You know, because I
it
had
all
baby.
changed so fast.
I mean, I have baby pictures of Joey, so I must have took them on a camera. It was probably a disposable.
07 was earlier stuff for sure. I remember because I think about when in 2008 I tried moving is when I stayed in Virginia for a little bit, and I definitely did not have a smartphone. There was not smartphones then. It was more the flip phones and the Nokia phones back then.
Yeah. Well, I saw. Did you watch the home run derby? There was somebody's kid. I don't know who it was. If it was it was somebody on the Phillies. I don't know if it was Trey Turner's kid or something like that. Was walking around with a disposable camera,
like the one where you would dial the dial.
You got to wind it, and you drop the whole camera in the thing to develop the whole.
Yeah.
You send the whole camera in.
We talked about that. We got to find out where he took it because we still don't know where you take that to get developed. So he was going old school.
Yeah,
old school flips right there.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch the home run derby, but you know what? This poor girl. Did you see this? The poor girl that sang the national anthem at the home run derby.
Well,
it's all over social media that how she can't sing. This poor girl.
Who was she? I mean,
they even announced her as like some Grammy award-winning musician and stuff.
So she is a singer,
and she comes out there, and it's. I don't want to be harsh on her because I feel bad like that the whole world, but it was hard to listen to. It was, and she's they're comparing her to some of the other renditions, like the Fergie rendition that everybody said was terrible. I don't know who she is. I don't even remember her name, but it's been on my social media enough for me to know that I feel bad for her because like everybody's picking on her for the rendition. And I know you got to go up there. When you go up there and sing the national anthem, you got to nail it. Like you just have to. And she didn't.
Right. So, I mean, I give them credit to do it.
Yeah. Get up there. Yeah. But like people are saying, like, how did she get up there? Like, did nobody she not do like a practice where someone was listening or?
I don't know. Well, I was listening to WIP, which is our local radio station, our sports radio station, local.
Yeah.
And they were doing a show from inside Citizens Bank Park, which is where the Phillies play. And they were doing while they were doing the show, they were doing sound checks or whatever, because so whoever sings, I think in the 7th inning stretch and all that, they sing "God Bless America" here at the stadium, and the national anthem and beginning of the game. They were doing the sound checks during the live radio show, so they all do go out there and do. Yeah. I mean, you do practice, right?
Yeah, that's what. But like, I don't know. And again, Grammy award winning. So was it all like through that? What's that system that what's his name uses? Who's the singer that got famous singing with he like auto tune, right? And then he took auto tune and he made it to where he had that. Who's that singer?
I thought you were going back. I thought you were going back to Milli Vanilli from back in the day.
No, she should have Milli Vanilli there for sure. She should have just push play and then grab the microphone. She should have. That's what she should have done for sure. No, auto tune. And then there was the one guy who he's the one that like turned it to where his voice sounds like a robot with the auto tune. And so like he kind of he used auto-tune the way it wasn't meant to be used. Like he, instead of making his voice sound great, it turned into like a robotic. He even won like the Masked Singer. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, so that's what she should have had. She should have either had auto-tune going, or she should have Milli Vanilli'd it and pushed play and just lip sync the whole thing, because now she's being blasted on social media for her rendition. So anyway, that sucks. That sucks. It's just not. I mean, that's a big platform. That's like a huge platform. Like it's not Super Bowl or World Series, but still, a lot of people watch the Home Run Derby.
Yep.
And so millions of people saw your rendition. Yeah.
Plus the millions that didn't watch it, and then, like you said, it comes up on your social media feed all the time.
So good news, listeners and watchers. Joe is going to actually give us a good rendition of the national anthem right here, right now, for everybody to hear what it's supposed to sound like.
Not happening.
Not happening. Not happening. It was worth a shot. Wouldn't that have been great if you just
if I just belted
grabbed your
out.
mic and just nailed sang it perfect? That you would have shut me up real quick if you would have done that.
No singing from this guy.
If Dan was here, he would do it. Dan likes to sing. Dan sings. He's sang on the podcast a couple times. Maybe next episode we'll get Dan to open it up with the
maybe we'll start the podcast like that.
We'll start like Dan. You got to start the next podcast with the national anthem. You gotta redeem this girl that butchered it, and you gotta come on here and just do it like the Whitney Houston version. That's my favorite. That's my favorite national anthem, is when she's singing at the Super Bowl. Anyways, that's sad. That's
our social media hot take right there.
That's the social media. We should do that every week. We should have a social media hot take for the podcast every week, because it's fun. It's like
our show just focuses on the return of the week. That's all.
Return of
the week, or we can do the question of the week.
We should like
crazy questions of the week.
I didn't have questions, but I had a crazy commenter. You have a return of the week? I have 2 returns right now.
I don't have a return, but it was a return that I was begging for. I was asking the guy to return. It was the guy that I talked about last week about the Game of Thrones, the digital code he said was expired. So we went back and forth with some messages or whatever, and he wanted like a huge discount off of it. I think I sold it for $60. He wanted $35 back, in it. So I just told him, I just told him to return it. Open up the, return on eBay. I accept returns. Take it. I'll take it back. My thinking was I was going to take it back, and I was just going to check the code to see if it was redeemed or not. And then I don't know what my recourse would have been anyway, but.
Well, I mean, I think you could have still sold the Blu-ray.
Well, that's what I was planning on doing. They were the Blu-ray. There were 7 seasons, 7 seasons of the Blu-ray. They would have been open or whatever, but I would have sold, just taken them back and just sold them off that way or whatever. But he decided to leave me a neutral feedback, which is not a negative feedback. So
I wonder if he left you a neutral because you can't leave a negative until after a certain amount of days anymore. They extended. I know eBay extended. You can't leave a negative feedback until after a certain amount of days now.
Oh, really?
I think it's like 7 days after. Maybe someone in the comments can correct me the exact. I know I'm right about it. It's been extended, but they can't leave negative feedback right away anymore. Like a buyer can't get the item, and I know that because I just bought something, and when I was leaving feedback, it said like you must wait blah 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 amount of days before you can leave negative feedback. So I know there's like a period now where you can't leave negative feedback. They can't get someone or get it and leave negative feedback right, and they definitely can't like go buy something and before it's even shipped leave like negative feedback. It says there's a time period they have to wait now. And I don't know exactly what it is. I feel like it's 7 days. Maybe someone in the comments can give us a little bit more information on exactly what that is. But I wonder if that's why they left you neutral, because they didn't want to wait that time period.
It just said he left, arrived quickly, purchased for digital copy only. Digital copy was expired.
I mean,
So,
but I feel like anybody that had that happen to them that really, really, really only wanted it for the digital copy would have returned it.
would have sent it back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and got you
And
my
returned
full
it.
refund.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, just send it back for a full refund.
So it feels like if I had to guess, it feels like he's making that up. That the digital copy was good. He was just fishing for a refund.
Or the flip side of that, I was thinking that maybe he wanted the DVDs because he kept them, or wanted the Blu-rays because he kept them, and just saw that it was written somewhere that it was expired and wanted to just push the issue that maybe he didn't originally
But the thing
order it.
about that is he said in the his feedback said he only wanted the digital.
Yeah.
So that if that's his reasoning, that's what I'm basing. Like, only bought it for digital. Well, then why do you want to keep the hard copy? Why do you want to keep the disc then? Because that's not. Then somewhere there's a lie, right? I feel like somewhere there's a lie. Anyway, that sucks. Well, at least it's a neutral. I mean, neutrals just kind of.
I'm not worried about it. I expected worse. I expected a negative feedback from him.
That's why I need to look into that.
And I asked them for the return. So I was begging for a return this week, and I didn't get one. Let me knock on wood.
It's still early, bud.
Yeah.
I got a return on a what is it? The 1987 The Real Ghostbusters Gooper Ghost Squisher figure. And their reasoning is they didn't know it was incomplete. They wanted the whole figure, and it's listed as incomplete, missing the arm. Oh, and they didn't like do item not as described. They admitted that they didn't, their reasoning was ordered by mistake, and then said that they wanted the whole figure. They didn't realize the arm was missing. So I feel like that's an honest return. Like, that's an honest return. Like, the arm is missing. It's listed that way. It's pictured that way. And that's what they said their reason was. So whatever. It happens. At least they didn't lie, and they didn't do item not as described and throw a fit because there was no arm. So I got that. And then I had a crazy comments or messages yesterday. This person wanted to buy a Club Penguin plush. Club Penguin plush. They want to buy it. Let me see if I can find the message. And they were just like,
"What's a Club Penguin plush?"
It's so Club Penguin is like it's like a cartoon or something like that. And so like it's a plush after that. Here it is.
I think I've seen them. I know what they are.
So let me see if I can find the whole feed. I can't. I'm trying to find everything they wrote. Oh, they sent pictures and everything. I can't find the whole feed, but along the lines of, hey, will you do literally 50% off your asking price? And I was like, no. And I think I said like $18 is my best price. And then they were like, well, this doll's wearing the wrong costume, and this plush doesn't have the right outfit on, and it's supposed to be a blue penguin that's wearing the red jersey, and so your listing is inaccurate. And they like just kept sending, and it wasn't like a long written out message. They just kept sending, like, the one message was that it was the wrong jersey, and then the next message was, so your listing's inaccurate, and then the next message was a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And then there was one other message in there, and I was like, I pulled a Dan. I was like, I didn't even respond. I just blocked that buyer. Like, it's not inaccurate. I said it's a Club Penguin wearing a blue jersey. I didn't say it's the one that's supposed to be wearing the blue jersey. I just said Club Penguin plush wearing blue football jersey is how I listed it. Somewhere. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they were just like, I was like, yeah, like, someone needs to tell buyers, like, if you approach a eBay, small business eBay seller with that, they're gonna block you and just about any seller I know is gonna block that person. Like I'm not even like because it was message after message really quickly, and it was like accusations and telling me that I'm listing stuff wrong and I should take their offer, and like, no, we're done. We're done here.
Yeah, there's only so much you can go back and forth with somebody about, and quite frankly, you don't want them to buy from you. You know, if they're that much of a headache before, you know. And how much was the plush?
Let's see. I said 16 would be my best price, and they wanted to do 10, and I had it listed for $21.99. And so I didn't even respond with an offer. I just said sorry. Like in my mind, I'm like, sorry, we're not doing more than 50% off, but I can do 16. And then they said, how about 13? And then, so that's how it started. How about, is 13 good? And I said, no, sorry, 16 is I said, sorry, 16 would be my best price.
Right.
And then they flooded me with the messages after.
Wow.
And it was the 16 I was sticking to the 16 on, I'm not going to lie, a little bit of principle, because like you came in at over 50% off of my asking. So maybe that's not the best attitude to have. I don't know. But I was like, 16 is a fair price. If it's $22 and that's a decent amount off. So yeah, that was my fun message of the week. Is that what you call it?
I sold a pair of New Balance sneakers that the guy, I had them listed for $80. The guy sent me an offer for $50, but with a note, he says, you have these listed as a size 12.5. They're an actual size 12, he was right. The picture showed a 12, but my title said 12.5. And he goes, well, you take $50 for them or whatever,
Heck yeah.
I said, yep.
Save me a return.
Yep. And I said, no problem. I said,
you saved me a return shipping label. You're all right.
I'll get them shipped out to you tomorrow.
You saved me a neutral feedback about a DVD code word.
So sometimes you get good buyers.
Yeah, I've always said if we would just every once in a while just stop yourself, resellers, eBay sellers, just stop yourself for a second. And because especially in the community, there's a lot of focus on bad buyers and the negativity. But every once in a while, just stop and look at your positive feedback and look at how many sales you've had that had no issues whatsoever.
I know.
And the percentage is, and for those of you that are into analytics, get yourself a little spreadsheet and make yourself a percentage of how many good sellers versus bad sellers. How many transactions have had no issues versus transactions that have had issues. And I guarantee you the percentage is in the 90s.
Oh, it's very right.
Yeah.
The negative is very minimal when you look at an overall picture. Even though if you do listen to this podcast every week, it seems like it's all about
it's
the bad
90% bad. Yeah, 90% bad buyers out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's a mental health moment for you. Like just go through and look at some of your bigger sales that you never go through, look at your solds and look at the stuff, your higher sales, and look at some of the stuff you sold and man, that sold 3 weeks ago. They didn't leave feedback, but I never heard back from them and it was $180. That's a great transaction for me. Just,
I still check. I still check all the higher dollar sales or whatever. I check to get that feedback all the time. I'm like,
for sure.
I didn't get it yet.
I'm looking at my feedback. I'm looking for those high dollar items that already have positive. Yeah.
And I'll check. Oh man, it was delivered 2 days ago. I don't have a feedback yet. But
I think we both agree. Like sometimes just nothing, not hearing anything. Just as good as positive feedback.
Yep. I'm okay with that too. So.
Yeah, it's just, I do that. I do that. I'll sit back if I'm having a bad week or whatever, I'll sit back and I'll do one of two things. This is going to be a little off track. I'll look at some of the positive transactions, or sometimes I turn around and I just stare at my toy collection. Is that bad? I just stare at my toys and it makes me feel better.
Yeah. It's a pretty good toy collection.
I'm like a huge child.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, so do it, folks. Go in there and try to get some positive, because I mean there's a lot of good things about eBay that for again you can easily find. Anyway, all right, what do you talking about big news in social media and stuff? Let's talk about big news in the reselling world. It's kind of we've been seeing a lot of Kevin, the Commonwealth picker, coming on and talking about he's working on a new little like platform. And I don't want to go too much into it, but I listed a couple lots on Common, and he's talked a little bit about this on some of the some podcasts and stuff. If you go to Reseller Information Network, he was on there talking a little bit about it. And then he was on, was it Tropical Flippers? Is that the one with Sonny and J Ride?
Sonny and J Ride, yeah.
Yeah, so he's talking a little bit about it, and I'm gonna try like some of my items that I want to sell in like a wholesale lot or bulk. I'm putting them on there to see what happens. And so I think it could be pretty cool. Joe, I think you should try putting your collection of sneakers on
there. Oh yeah. I did make a whatchamacallit sale though. StockX sale earlier in the week, so that was good. But yeah, I did see that. Cernock is putting
and as a reseller, you can find some good there's a lot of Levi's on there right now that Cernock has on there. If you're a reseller that sells Levi's, I'm just saying.
Could be the spot that
it's got a good price on it. Yeah, so I think you could find some good bulk deals on there, and not have to leave your house. You can have inventory brought right to your door. And I have some decent stuff on there, stuff that I just don't know enough about, and I really don't want to mess with. But I put some decent little lots on there, like Magic the Gathering cards. I know enough that there's no $1,000 card in the lot.
What's the one for Magic the Gathering? That's the hard one, or the big one?
The Black Orchid or something like that, or the Blue Orchid, or the that's a whale. Is that a whale? Did I just call it a whale?
What is it? I think it's whatever. But there is that one card.
There's like a black flower.
Is it Lotus? Something Lotus.
Black Lotus. There you go. I called it a whale. I called it a killer whale. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Black Lotus.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, so there's no Black Lotus in there, and there's no. I'll tell you, I know there's no $100 card in there. I know there's, but could there be $15 and $12 cards in there? Yes, there could be. I didn't do that much research. Yeah. So yeah, I put those on there. I put some hats on there.
I only know a little bit of Magic the Gathering. That's because
you just should have said I know a little bit of Magic, and then just been like, look at this, folks.
Oh yeah. Larry Way Out. Look at some of his posts on there about the Black Lotus or whatever. He actually had. I don't know if he had a couple or he had one, but I know he ended up selling it recently.
He helped me with these, so I was as far as identifying rare versus rares and uncommons and then commons. There's a way to actually tell if a car is common or rare or uncommon, and so I don't remember the full way, but he showed me, so I separated them. So there's rares and there's uncommons in there. It's not just all common cards, and he helped me identify that. There's something to do with I got a stack right here. There's something to do with this right here. I don't know if you can. This mark right here being gold means it's not a common. You can't really see it.
I see it. Yeah, it looks yellow, but yeah.
Yeah, see that?
I see it now.
So that marking tells me it's not common by it being like a yellowish gold. I don't remember exactly what rank that is. I have a cheat sheet somewhere. So I don't have these aren't all commons. There's rares and there's uncommons in there, and ultra rares or whatever. So he helped me identify that.
So how much? What did you list them in? Lots of how many?
I have a lot of 300 for $75. And I don't even know if that's a good price. I don't know what is that per card. I might have to get the old. I don't do math, so the calculator.
Let's do math out here.
Anybody? That's calendar, Jimmy. You suck calendar.
We need Dan to do the math.
300 divided by 75. Wait, that's not right, is it? 75 divided by 300 is what I wanted to do. Divided by 300. That's what I'm. 25 cents a card.
Mm-hmm.
I just had it backwards. Yeah. 25 cents a card. That might be a little high. I don't know. It's on there. We'll see. I had a question about it already, and they asked if they were all commons. I think I need to update the listing because I don't think I have that in the listing. Maybe I need to add that. So yeah, I do think it's a good. I think it's a good little resource for resellers to be able to, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty big. I think it could be a sourcing opportunity. It could be a winter sourcing opportunity for me. You know, we were just talking about it could be a place where I go in the winter and I see some toys on there or something on there that I know more about. I could buy a lot in the winter and not have to go to. I don't have to go to yard sales. I don't have to go to a live auction. Like I can have it delivered directly to my door. I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see if I can sell some stuff on there, and I'm excited to see if I can find some stuff to buy on there. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna take a look and see what's on there, and might pick something up.
Shout out to Kevin Conwell Picker. I think we'll be talking to him about that in the near future. Hopefully,
yeah,
possibly. Man, I bought a storage locker, Joe. I won a storage locker auction.
Jeez, here we go.
And
now you're into the store. Now you're into the storage.
I am big time. I'm already actually. I'm not going to need to buy anything anywhere else because I'm just buying nothing but storage lockers from here on out.
So, do you have a video coming out? Or you want to tell us about it? Or
I didn't record.
No,
I should have, but it became a time crunch. So I had to rent a U-Haul, and it was like 30 minutes away.
How big was the unit?
It was a 10 by. Or no, it was a 10 by 15, but it was not full. It was definitely not full. I would not have been able to do it if it was full. It was not even half full. But it wasn't the best locker. I paid off, but I got it super cheap, $110. I won the bid on the after taxes and then the fees that the website took. I think I paid $120 something for the locker, which is a great price. Like $120 into a locker that's 15 by 10 and it's got a lot of stuff in there. But it was not. I got some good furniture. It's going to take a while to move the furniture being out here in the middle of nowhere. I wish I was right now. I wish I was in Denver. I put this furniture up in Denver and it's already sold. Out here in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, it's just not how it is.
What kind of furniture? Like couches or is it bed or?
There's like a set that has like a coffee table and then two side tables. That's really nice. Like real wood, not the cheap stuff. Like it's real wood. It's a really nice set. There's a whole bedroom set that's by I got a picture right here. I can show you the picture, but the brand is it's a decent brand. It's Drexel. Have you ever heard of Drexel?
Mm-hmm.
Drexel. Drexel, and this is like a mid-century modern look to it.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the whole set. Like it's a whole bedroom set right there. So someone sold this exact set in Las Vegas for $900 on like a local offer up type thing. Now, unfortunately, I'm not in Las Vegas where there's a bigger population. I'm in middle of nowhere, Ohio, so it's a little bit harder to find. And we have that actually hasn't been listed yet, but there's that set. Then there's a kitchen table set with 4 chairs, nice wooden, like all wood with the what's the thing in the middle called? That
the leaf.
The leaf in the middle, yeah. So the furniture's eventually going to make us all of our money back, pull us some profit. But the thing I like the most, and they're probably not worth the most, but it's worth a lot. A huge 3-piece ceramic Christmas tree with all the little lights that go on it, all in there. It's probably close to a $300 Christmas tree.
You gonna ship that thing?
I've probably shipped 5 of those over the years.
Yeah.
I get a Walmart box, a Walmart large box, and then I get a pool noodle or 2 pool noodles. And so I'll wrap bubble wrap the crap out of the tree, and then I'll saran wrap it, and then I take pool noodles and put them on around it. I put like 3 pool noodles around it, and then I cut them down to size, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I wrap the pool noodles around it so they give it like a cushion all the way around it. And then I put it in the box with paper. Never had an issue doing it that way.
Oh, nice.
I think that's gonna be, because it's a big one. A 3-piece ceramic Christmas tree. It's hard to find the 3-piece one.
So when you looked up this at this unit, what was the thing that made you bid on it? The furniture, or did you see anything?
It was the furniture, because that's all I could see. Everything. So it was furniture and then a bunch of boxes. And we went through the boxes, Joe. There was probably 25 boxes. No, 18 boxes. We pulled the Christmas tree. We pulled like it's a nicer like cream and sugar set for coffee that's like really old. It's antique.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth a decent. Oh yeah. There was a set of 4 Pyrex bowls with the mushroom. It's called like brown mushroom. It's got mushrooms on it. And there were all 4 of those. That's close to $100 also for that Pyrex, the 4 Pyrex bowls. So there was that. We pulled like a vintage Cleveland Browns towel. And maybe 4 other things that we pulled that we're going to try to sell. And the rest was grandma stuff. But not good grandma stuff, like Walmart grandma stuff. Like all the sweaters that were in there and the jeans. It was like modern Walmart branded stuff. Like just not good. And then like Christmas lights and just not good stuff.
Do you have a way to get rid of
we love donating that kind of stuff to Goodwill.
Okay.
That's when we love Goodwill.
Yeah.
Hey, Goodwill, you can have this stuff. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's against any rules, but we donated it all to Goodwill. It's clothes, so it's just not good. There's no, not even a name brand I can even think of to say it was so bad.
Yeah, nothing resale value of
right. There was like cheap dishes, just full of stuff like that. So it was not it's going to be a good locker when it all sells. By the time we sell all the furniture and the tree and some of the other things that were worth money in there, we're going to do decent. We're because the low, after the U-Haul, we were just under $200 in.
Okay.
And when the tree sells, that should get us to profit. And then everything else after that will be profit.
So what do you list the furniture on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook Marketplace. We might try. Craigslist seems to be pretty good out here, so we might put it on Craigslist as well. Mm-hmm. That's where Sonia steps in, because she's got like a better profile on Facebook for selling stuff. So she puts it on her Facebook, and then she just messages me if someone's interested in something. So
yeah,
he kind of handles that for me, which is pretty awesome. Because
why? What's most of yours like? Reselling?
Well, I've had it happen twice now where they looked to see that and they saw that I was a reseller, so they weren't. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter selling. I guess that doesn't really matter when I'm selling something.
How about buying? Do you use her account?
No, I'll use mine sometimes though.
Yeah,
but like if something really good pops up. And I'm like, I want to get that. Like, you know how it is. If something really good shows up on Facebook, you got to be quick. So I'll just use mine and try to get it as fast as possible.
Yeah. Do you ever run into people not? You think people not, respond to you because they look at your, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I had a person respond saying, "I see you're a reseller. I want to sell this to somebody that actually is going to use this." Alrighty. Yeah, but there's that whole world you just taught. Facebook is a whole, like, Sonia's already had 2 scammers reach out to her, and then she's had a couple people that ghosted her, like, oh, I'm interested in this, I could come and get it, and then never showed up, like, didn't even message after that. So that's always fun on Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's the worst, man. We've had a lot of that because my daughter Riley ended up we got her a new bed. She had bunk beds in her bedroom, but they were from the boys. So she wanted her own bedroom set or whatever. So we ended up listing the bunk beds on Facebook Marketplace, and my wife handled most of that, just putting it up there. And she got so many just, I'll be there, I'll buy it, hold it for me, I'll be there this day and all this, and everything seemed to fall through. Like it was just eventually, it sold, but it was just like a pain in the neck.
I'll tell you, if you can put up with that stuff, though, if you live in a bigger, populated area, man, furniture is a great market. It's not as great right here. That's what sucks. But like in like the Denver metro, when we found that out because when we were moving, we sold some of our furniture. We didn't bring it with us, and like Sonia would list it, and we would get a message within like 5 minutes of listing it. And someone's coming to get we sold all of our furniture easily, fast on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So
she had it up. I mean, as soon as it went up, she got constant, the messages and all this. But then
because you think about it, it's hard to find furniture. I mean, furniture is expensive if you go to the store. Like you go to a furniture store, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And if the furniture has any kind of quality to whatever, that's even harder to find and even more expensive. So.
Yeah. So we ended up listing the bedroom. They were like the typical just metal frame, cheap. You know what I mean? Like, and it separates into like 4 pieces. The foot side, the headboard, and then the two mattress. The two places where the mattress goes on. So it wasn't like hard to put together. It was all, and she got a lot of it. We only listed it for $50 because we just wanted it going. We just wanted it going. I ended up moving it out of her room. Well, took it apart, moved it out of her room, and then put it in the garage. We just wanted it out there. So the people that actually ended up coming, so we sold it for $50, and then she asked me if we had any other furniture. We were just going to get rid of the mattresses, just throw them out. But we had in our where we live, if you're throwing out a mattress, it has to be wrapped up in like a bag, a mattress bag or whatever. For whatever reason, the trash man won't take it. So. So she asked me if we had any other furniture. I just explained to her that it was just that we were getting rid of these because my daughter got a regular bed. She was like, "Would you take $30 for the mattresses?" We were only going to throw them away. You know what I mean?
Oh, so wow.
So we upselled it. So I said sure. So we ended up getting $80. But the lady that comes, she comes in a
oh no,
it was like a Honda Pilot, like
smart car.
Like a Honda, it was a bigger like SUV.
Yeah.
And I don't know the whole reason of it. I was taking off it. So her husband or the guy that was there ended up packing up the stuff in the car and everything else like that. Well, when I come out, there's a kid in the car seat in the driveway, but she didn't have $30 on her. So she left the kid with me to go to Wawa and get $30.
Babysitter Joe.
So I turned into a babysitter for $30.
So now you got
for $80 total. I had to babysit a kid for a half hour.
Dude, that's next level. She's next level. That's like props to her. She got a free baby. So she found a baby, not free. She found a babysitter for $30 an hour.
Pretty much. But listen, it was so like it never crossed her. I mean, she didn't know me. She didn't know my wife. They weren't friends on Facebook. They weren't like anything else like that.
That's wild.
Yes. I was just like,
did she say, "Hey, I'm leaving the kid here"?
She said, well, she was 32 minutes away from home. And she said that she had money at home. We were going to throw them out. So I was just, if you're going to bring me the money back. If you want to Venmo me the money, Venmo me the money.
You had the kid for an hour?
No. She asked me, she goes, can I leave them for an hour and 4 minutes? And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until she said that she was 32 minutes apart. I'm like, but what about the unload time and all that? You know what I mean? I'm like, no, you cannot leave your kid here for an hour. And then she ended up saying that she would get the $30 from Wawa. I'm like, no, take your kid. Come back. I trust you. Come back.
She was going to leave her kid with you she would have left the kid with you for an hour if you would have said yeah.
Yes, over an hour.
What in the
The
world?
kid was sleeping in a baby seat. I mean, it was in it like one of the car seats that that you carry. A little over 1 years old, well, maybe a little bit older than that, but
That's no
so
way. That doesn't
we sat in the driveway
with the kid.
with the kid in the car
You
seat.
were babysitting. Yeah, I don't know.
The kid was asleep.
That's
I
I don't
know.
even know what to say.
I know, it's wild.
I'm popping back. Can you watch the kid for an hour?
An hour and 4 minutes. She because she's 32
I
minutes
don't
away.
even know what to say.
I know.
Like that's yeah.
So I text my wife. I'm like, what did you set me up here with? What, like,
Yeah.
did you work something out
You
here?
got pranked, Joe. There's a video coming out, Joe.
know.
You got pranked. Like you literally I imagine the look on your face when she said, "Hey, I'm leaving the kid here with the
Yeah. Where's the
for
closest
an hour."
Wawa to get $30 cash? I'm like, so I had all these things. I'm like, if this kid wakes up, I'm gonna go get the dogs. Maybe he's he's good with dogs. So I didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I have 3 kids of my own, but
Right.
I mean, this is a stranger.
No,
It was the most bizarre thing I ever had to deal with.
that doesn't happen ever, let alone like that's not something that happens every day or ever. Wow, man, that's why Joe the babysitter.
Yep. So if you want to buy anything from me, drop the kid off.
So
set up.
Let me take that all back. What I said about if you don't mind dealing with this kind of stuff on Facebook. If you want to sell on Facebook, you have to offer a babysitting service.
Yeah. No, like I really thought. I'm like, did you agree to any of this? Did you say okay?
You might be onto something.
Yeah,
furniture and a baby.
She wanted some other furniture. I don't know. But we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. I only had the
IKEA because IKEA has a daycare. You walk into Joe's house and he'll sell you furniture and watch your kid.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It was bizarre. I got right on my
Joe's the IKEA of resellers.
Yep, I got right on the family group text, and I'm like, look at what my wife set me up with.
That's what I bought on Facebook.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Take a picture of the kid. Look what I just bought on Facebook. Oh my gosh.
I know, man.
That's so crazy. Like, I wouldn't that's not something I would even no, who I would never do who has a kid that would do that?
Nope. It was just she was fine. I mean, I am a nice guy. I mean, but I mean I don't like leaving my kids with anybody, let alone somebody that I met on Facebook Marketplace.
That's why that is.
She did end up friending my wife after that. Went on her profile.
Now you're gonna watch the kid again.
So I'm assuming,
she's like, I got to friend them. They're great babies.
Yeah.
Joe, that beats a lot of Dan's stories.
Yeah, so I'm a part-time baby.
With Dan stealing cats and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, cats. You want to go into your cat story?
I have a stray cat.
You're gonna save that for next week, or what do you?
Literally, Dan talks about having stealing the neighbor's stray cat and stuff. This week, while we were going through the storage locker that we bought, and maybe it was in the locker.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
the cat was in the locker. Because we're going, did I delete? We're going through the locker. Next thing I know, there's a cat in my garage. And it's climbing all over maybe the cat was in the storage locker. No way. That's not possible. I don't have, it's orange, what do they call those orange cats? Is that a tabby cat or something like that? Dude, I didn't even think that cat, where's my trash? Dang it. I want to find a picture of this cat to show you. I think I accidentally deleted it, but I think it's in my drawer. Oh yeah, here it is. Look at this cat. It was in my garage, and it's standing on one of the dressers that came out of the storage locker. So I have this stray cat in my garage while we're sorting through the storage locker stuff. So now I have a stray cat, but it has a collar on it, so it's got to be somebody's cat. I haven't named it yet or put a tent out and slept with it yet. But it's possible that we could be going that level if I don't find the owners of it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean,
No,
and
Joe,
it seems
you
like
adopting a kid on Facebook is way bigger story.
well, it seems like whatever Dan puts out there in the world, whether it's returns or feedback or
Yeah,
cats.
anything he talks about happens to us. I got a
Yeah.
stray cat now. So Dan talked about it, and now I got a stray cat. And
Mhm.
Joe's got an adopted child.
So we'll see.
I don't think this podcast could get much crazier, but we'll find out next week when Dan's back if we have any other crazy child adopting stories on the reseller leftovers.